Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Mismatch. Today I have my very good friend and boss, Ernesto Gaita, with me today. Now, for those of you who don't know this. He is the co-founder of Money Buys Happiness, which is a top 1% ranked podcast globally and a 7-figure media platform with over 1 million followers across social channels and more than 1 billion total views. Now, the show documents the people driving culture forward. Entrepreneurs, creators, athletes, entertainers, founders, and visionaries are just some of the people that you may find on his podcast. Now, in 2019, Ernesto co-founded Neighbourhood Creative alongside Anthony Sorella and his sister, Anna Maria Gaita. Now, in its 7th year, huge congrats, it's grown into a multi-7-figure global creative agency. The man, the myth, the legend is here with me today, Ernesto.
Wow, what an intro.
I even cut it short because there's too much to list, which we're going to get to, though, throughout this.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you.
I'm embarrassed that it's taken me so long to have you on here,
That's okay.
honestly.
It's okay.
Because we are in your studio. Grid Studio is a part of what you do as well. It's a beautiful podcast space for those of you who are looking to shoot anything, really, in it.
Yep.
But I want to take it way back because we've known each other for, I want to say like over a decade.
It's probably been, wow, we're old, eh?
This conversation is reoccurring these days on Mismatch.
Probably a decade, I would say at least.
At least a decade.
At this point, yeah.
From days at the clerb.
The clerb.
The clerb.
That's where I started.
That's where it started. And you were a nightlife promoter.
Yep.
You knew all the hot spots. It's like anytime you wanted to go out, you message Ernesto and you're like, oh, where do I need to go?
Yeah.
Can you get me a bottle? Where do I stand? Or actually, I don't want to stand in line. So how do I get in?
That's how it all started. And I'm actually so grateful that that's where it started.
Like, how did you fall into that or choose that life? Because it's not for everybody. It's hard. It's also really hard. You know, people think it's all party and fun, but it's actually a grind.
Oh, it was. That's why I ended up stopping after because it was crazy, right? But yeah, and I always tell people too, like, I think nightlife and being a promoter is like a great way to build your network, build your social skills, your communication skills. Like, I learned everything that I do today. Most of the things that I've learned is from nightlife. I started because I was trying to be a soccer player for a long time. And I went to the States for school for 1 year. And I got homesick and I came back. And when I came back, I kind of felt like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Because, you know, I made my whole life about a sport and all of a sudden I didn't have that anymore. So a couple friends that I had, older friends, they were in nightlife and they invited me out a few times. And I saw the fun that they were having, but I also saw like the power that they had. And I don't mean power in a bad way. I mean it more like,
influence.
They were a resource to people. People needed them, right? And I liked that. I really liked that part because I wanted to be of service to people. And I think I got that from sport as well. I was kind of like of service to my team at that point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You kind of learned that with a team and teamwork. So I kind of felt this void where I'm like, okay, well, I want to be of service to people. And I tried it out a few times. And at that point, I was maybe I was 19, 20. And I was getting paid nothing, you know, like I was getting paid probably $20 to go to the club and promote, right? Literally $20, like a $20
That's
bill.
wild.
And then I would get my free bottle and then I would actually have to use that $20 to tip the bottle service girl. But I was just like, yo, this is so fun. I noticed a lot of my friends, you know, needing me at times and saying, hey, like, well, you're the guy, right? And I was feeding off that in a way, right? I don't want to say that it was feeding my ego, but it was more so in a way where it's like, okay, people need me. This is cool. Like, that was the first step. The second step after that was like, okay, wow, I realized in my age group, there's not many people that have this resource. So I kind of saw opportunity there. And then I just kept going and going and, you know, ended up working for a few different promoters. First one was a guy I knew from high school. He was a bit older than me. Second one was Ricky Liordi. Who you had on the pod, right?
Yep.
So he was one of my first bosses in nightlife. And then from there, I really just took it upon myself to grow as much as I could. I saw it was working and it was working in a way where I was like, oh, like more people know me every week. And And that was like enough for me. It wasn't really about the money at that point. You know, I was living at home. I'm 20, like 19, 20. I'm like, I don't have to be a millionaire right now. So why don't I just meet as many people as I can? And it was fulfilling to me as well to like help someone, you know, host their birthday or a special occasion that they had, or simply, you know, they were waiting in line usually, and now I can help them not wait in line.
Yeah, that's
so. It was like little things like that that kind of really made me enjoy it, especially at the beginning. And from there, I kind of just wanted to be the best promoter in the city. Like that was my goal. I just wanted to be the one person that anyone can call. And I think something I did differently was I would help anyone. You know, I didn't pick and choose who I would help, which I saw that happening a lot in nightlife, right? Which I get it. It's a business, right? But there was a lot of promoters that would only like, you know, if you're a girl that's good looking, I'll help you.
Yeah.
If you're anything besides that, don't call me.
Yeah.
I was one of the only ones to just say like, I'll help anyone, like whatever you need, right? Like I would go and
well, because they're spending money regardless. Like money is money. It doesn't matter.
And for me, it was always a first impression. I think I realized how much relationships matter at that point. And I'm like, well, I don't know who these people are going to be in 10 years from now.
That's smart way to think too.
Right? Like
yeah.
I don't really know. And if I can give them a great first impression of me and build trust with them in that way. And there was times where, you know, the club's packed. There's 500 people in line, and I would get like 8 dudes, not even dressed well, and bring them to the front. I would help anyone, right? And I think that really helped me fast forward when I started Neighbourhood. That really helped me to have all those relationships.
Yeah, because you know a lot of people in the city, and a lot of people know you. And honestly, I like people's, I think, first reflection or like words of you is he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I tried to, again, I wanted to be different in that industry.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, I realized very quickly how cutthroat.
Like you were never an arrogant asshole.
No, and I didn't want to be, because I also saw other people doing that approach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's just not even me to be, like, I didn't do this to be that guy. Right. So yeah, I think I just tried to be different and respect everyone. Because again, when the lights close and the club shuts down, we're all in the same boat anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm this big promoter for 3 hours, and then what happens Monday morning, right? I'm just a normal guy.
Yeah.
So I think I treated it very humbling at the beginning. And I think it was just very different from what people were used to.
What do you think like humbled you?
I think wanting to be one of the best in the space. Like I think me realizing like, okay, like, and there was times too where I didn't get let into clubs. It's not like I just went into nightlife and all of a sudden I had access to everything.
Yeah.
There was times where I would go to a club and they'd be like, yeah, you're not getting in, right? And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, or like I would go experience clubs that I didn't work at, and it was humbling experiences too, right? And I was kind of just taking mental notes of like, okay, I wouldn't want to act that way if someone was coming to me like that. So I think it was a mix of like experiencing nightlife at a high level and just seeing what people were doing, what people weren't doing. And then realizing like, okay, if I want to really make my mark, I'm going to have to be very kind and respectful to everyone. Like that's the only way I got to where I was later down the line in nightlife. And I was like, okay, if I want to fill a place with 2,000 people, you know, I'm going to have to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
And people have to also want to be around me.
Yeah.
That's the thing about nightlife. Like you're trying to attract people to you, and you don't do that by being a dick.
Yeah. It's true.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe there was times where my ego did show at times earlier on in my career, and I'm just like, oh, well, that didn't work out too well for me. Right. So
yeah, you learned quick.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So what made you leave that life? Well, I mean, I can only imagine, but
it's very hard to leave nightlife because you get used to very good money, right? And I was, you know, for my age, I was making stupid money, right? Stupid, just to show up to the club. I ended up gaining a lot of leverage over the clubs because, again, I was pretty much going to anyone. Like I would help anyone. And what that did for me is that helped me, you know, fill clubs by myself at one point, right? Where the club really didn't need to have a usual club would have 8 promoters, let's say. And if I worked at the club, they would only need me. So I had a lot of leverage. But with that leverage came a lot more pressure too, right? Where, again, you're in nightlife, let's say you're going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and you're making, a lot of money at those nights. Like, it's very hard to say, well, I'm not going to do that this week.
For sure.
Like, you're like, okay,
For
well, I'm
sure.
going to just go stand in the club and drink tequila. I'm going to say no. Like, am
Tough.
I really not going to do that? But it does take a toll on you. And it started to take a toll on me maybe like 2 years before the pandemic, where I was like, damn, like, I knew I couldn't do that for the rest of my life. I always knew. And I didn't want to own clubs. Many people would always say like, hey, how come you don't have your own club yet?
Yeah.
That was simply me just looking around at other club owners, and I'm like, well, I don't want to live that life. So I knew it was coming to an end. And I'm like, damn, like, I really got to get out of this, mental health, physical health, everything taking a toll at that point.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't really find a way out because I was stuck in that loop week to week. You're like, okay, it's Monday. Next week I'm not going out. Mm-hmm. Then 2 people call you. They want to book tables. And you're like, shit, like.
Just roping you back in.
And I'm not the type of guy that I'm like, oh, like, I'm going to go out and not drink. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and drink. Like, and again.
You're like an all or nothing kind of guy.
Well, it's, again, the experience of it. Like, is someone going to want to come out with me, celebrate their birthday, and then they're like, hey, Ernesto, let's have a shot for my birthday. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't drink.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not coming out with you next time. Like, that you're boring. Like,
yeah.
So we started Neighbourhood probably about a year before the pandemic. That was Anthony coming to me. He was in nightlife as well. And he had the idea to start a marketing agency. And it was a blessing that he came at that time. I really didn't know what I had at that point. He's like, you just have a huge network. Like, you should be doing more with this. So big kudos to Anth for coming to me at that time. Then we started Neighbourhood, and I was using actually the money I was making from promoting to fund Neighbourhood. Okay, so we had that office downtown. Smart, but again, just added more pressure to me where I'm like, oh shit, I
still have to do that.
I still have to do it. So we were doing that. We were funding it. The team, like, there was employees we were paying for with the promoting money, our lease, everything. So we did that for about a year. The pandemic hits, all the clubs close, and we're like, this is our chance to stop, So that's when I ended up.
So we could blame COVID on you. It was like that needed to happen so that you could then pursue this next chapter of your life.
Blame me. You could blame me all you want. The COVID happening was a huge blessing for me. Obviously, it was horrible what happened. In terms of everything else,
actually represented a lot of local businesses as a part of like your agency, I can say, because we worked together. Like, I remember we did a couple things for Breakfast Television at the time.
We did Movember. I had my restaurant at that point too, during the pandemic. Yeah.
And so you were supporting businesses in that way as well, just different but the same.
Yeah. So the pandemic is when everything, my life really changed. It wasn't like, oh, like the pandemic hit and now I have this wonderful life. That's not what happened, by the way. It was like a huge shock to my life for me, having to adapt and change the way people saw me, and now work on a whole different kind of business. But yeah, without the pandemic, we definitely wouldn't be here. I would probably still have been stuck in that loop for God knows how long.
Yeah, for real. You just said change the way that people saw you.
Yeah.
I'm interested in how that shift kind of happened, or how you, not only like from a media perspective of rebrand, because I know you understand that sort of world and language, but also like there was like an internal shift for you too, I imagine, as well.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I was known as the guy drinking tequila every weekend for 8 years.
I mean, it's not a bad to be known for.
but you do leave your mark on people, right? After that many years of doing it. And that was definitely a struggle for me to be like, okay, well, now I have to convince business owners to work with me,
right,
on a marketing level, which they trusted me, but didn't trust me to that extent. They trusted me where it's like, I like Ernesto, and I trust him to help me out if I need help. So I would really, I think we used social media well at that point. We realized how important that tool was, and we're like, okay, well, Ernesto, how did everyone start thinking this about you to begin with? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, social media. Like, I would go out and show the booth, the bottles, me drinking, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so if I just keep using social media but change my image, eventually they'll start to see that I'm a different person. So we went really hard on our socials, on our personal brand, with Neighborhood's page too. And, the first 6 months were rough. It was a lot of like judgment from other people. Like, yo, like, are you sure you even know what you're doing? And
Really?
of course, because again, like the way people look at promoters is like, it's a degenerate thing to do. I'm just being honest, right? I tried my best to not look that way, but I also was like trying to make money. So you would kind of follow that image in a way where you're posting everything and you're like, damn, like, I just watched 20 stories of this guy and he's just drunk as fuck. But we use social media. I think we really turned the dial there and said, okay, well, now let's just start going harder and showing our clients, showing the marketing side. Maybe in the things we say now it's more professional and it's geared towards marketing. So yeah, we use social media a lot. And then internally, like me personally, it was really hard because, when you're in something like nightlife and as a promoter, for example, you get this kind of power and authority that you really don't get in many other industries in life, unless you're like a celebrity.
Yeah, it's ego.
It's huge, right? And a lot of people, to go back, a lot of people won't leave nightlife because they know they won't find that feeling anywhere else. So I was like, damn, like, people don't really need me anymore. Like, I feel like, all these people that needed me, they don't need me anymore. But that was a tough pill to swallow. But I'm also very realistic in a way where it's like, well, what do you want? That feeling forever, or you want to actually like build a career and be successful in life? So I mean, probably a couple months of me just like, damn, like, people unfollowing me and stuff because like now I'm not
really.
Well, I followed you
because now you're not serving them.
I'm not serving them anymore, right? So
interesting.
Which was fine. I knew that would happen, right? But yeah, I think internally it was just kind of just finding myself and talking to myself and just saying, you know what, like it's gonna be rough this 1-2 years of you trying to build this, but it'll be worth it. So it's a lot of just like inner work and just being with your thoughts and stuff like that. I think pandemic, I was journaling, meditating. I was doing the whole thing. That really helped me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that like you stepping away from that changed you as a man, would you say? Because not for anything, I mean, you called it, like most promoters are also known as fuckboys,
And I was probably one of them.
Like I won't say that. I'm not saying that.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
But like, even in terms of like relationships, like
how
much of a shift did you notice even with yourself personally and like who you were with maybe, or what you were attracting and like bringing into your life?
Yeah, I mean,
we're going there.
I was in probably two or three relationships throughout my promoting career, which is
it's a career,
I guess. Yeah.
100%.
And they never worked, because like,
imagine jealousy was like probably like a huge problem.
I don't blame them. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to trust a promoter.
Have you ever cheated?
No.
There you go. That's good.
But I also, like, if I feel like I need to cheat, I'll just end the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like your sign.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, never cheated, but the relationships wouldn't. And there was times where I would try my best. Like I would be going to a club with my girlfriend and be like, okay, yo, tonight, like I'm telling my other promoters tonight, don't invite any girls.
No girls to the table.
All guys in here, right? But obviously that would never work. So it was very hard to keep a relationship. I think at one point I just realized, like, okay, if I'm doing this, I can't be in a relationship.
The lifestyle doesn't match up with that priority.
And I didn't expect anyone to match it. Like, I get it at the end of the day, right? As much as I would try and explain myself and, hey, like, this is just how it goes and this is my job. And I got it. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I tried to be in some relationships. That didn't work. Then getting out of promoting, it was actually funny because you would think, like, now I'm not promoting. Oh, now I can have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But I didn't even care. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, like I had this freedom actually of feeling like you get this freedom from not being in a loop constantly where you're like, okay, I have to go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I have to go out Thursday. when you stop that after like 8 years, you feel like you have this freedom now. And mixed with the pandemic, I was like, wow, like I really just want to work on myself. And that's what I did. And I'm still doing that till today.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like I don't know. For me, I think I've gone through 3-4 relationships that really changed my perspective, not in a bad or good way, but just made me realize things about myself and what I want. Where I'm just like, okay,
What is that?
I think for me, the reason why I wanted to work on myself so bad after those is because I'm like, okay, if I can become the best version of myself, I'll attract the best partner I possibly can.
Yeah.
You know, where I think the prior relationships, I wasn't the best version of myself. And I would attract people that I didn't really want to be with. I was kind of settling at that point because I'm like, okay, well, I'll have a girlfriend. We'll see how it goes, kind of thing. Where I felt like after the pandemic, I really had this shift within me where it's like, I don't need to be with anyone to be the best version of myself right now, at least.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of the times I was compensating. Like I would date someone and be like, well, now I feel better about myself. Or now I'm happier in a way. Or, you know, I have this part of my life that's very toxic and nightlife, like very but I have this. So like it's balancing. So yeah, I think that I just learned I really want to make sure the person I'm with is someone I want to be with. I'm not with them for the wrong reasons. I think in the past I've done that.
Yeah.
Where I was with people for the wrong reasons. And different kind of reasons, whether I'm just like, oh, well, you know, this person to me is so good looking. Yeah, but you know,
but that's it. Yeah.
After you know, 6 months, you know, when you're like,
that's a pretty long time, actually.
That is a long time. Sorry, that is a long time.
Like,
but again, like, or I'm with this person because they make me feel so good, which again, I'm looking for that. That's not something I'm not looking for.
But there's got to be more substance. You're looking for more substance.
I think I just wasn't ready at those times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I was the best version of myself and happy with myself. I think when you get into a relationship, this is what I believe. I think you should be as happy as you could be.
For sure. One.
And then you join someone that also they're as happy as they can be, and you bring that together, right? I think a downfall for some people is like, well, I'm not happy. Let me go date this person and then I'll be happy.
Right.
Which I don't know. For me, that's never worked.
Yeah.
Personally. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I can definitely vouch for that.
You know?
Something that I've noticed, and even just in my experience of like dating, is like a lot of guys like don't do the work to kind of figure that out because they look for that external validation, or like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing at this time. Like, what would you say to like men listening or even women listening, being like, it's important that he does the work to like figure that out?
For sure. Again, I think that when you start dating someone, now, of course, I understand there's compromise, there's learning with each other, you're going to learn about each other, but you should be in a situation yourself personally inside that you're potentially as strong as you could be, as self-aware as you could be, and that you know yourself. And I think a lot of people aren't even there.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, if you think you could be better at something in your life, right? And I'm not talking about really skills. I'm talking about, you know, your mental strength or your health, your mental health. Work on that first, I would say.
Yeah.
Before, you know, maybe getting with someone or dating someone. But I get it too, because, you know, on the flip side, there's also times where you might just meet someone and you're like, oh shit, like,
I don't want to let this person go, or
right. But again, I think the biggest thing in relationships, from my experience and from what I see in other relationships, is communication. I think that's what it is, because if you're communicating with someone from the go and you're super open about it, I don't really think you'll have many issues. And if, you know, the thing that builds trust the most, and this is even in business, but in relationships, it's having the hard conversations. If you try to dodge those conversations, you're going to start to resent the other person.
For sure.
Right? Because you're like, okay, well, I'm keeping all this in now because I don't want to talk about it. And now I'm keeping it in. It's 2 years I've kept it in. 3 years I've kept it in. And that's not a good place to be. So I would say communication, but like make sure like you're the best you can be. The thing I hate to see is on both sides, like with men and women. It's like, you know, they end the relationship and all of a sudden the guy's like in the gym every day.
Yeah.
It's like, man, why weren't you just in the gym every day before? Like, why weren't you taking care of yourself before? I would say there's even more of a reason to take care of yourself at that point, because there's someone else in your life.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And I get it. There's like the whole comeback thing and
Yeah.
the winter arc.
Glow up.
The glow up. I get it. But like, I would want to be with someone that makes me want to get better every day too.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So I see it on both sides. It's not just men. It's not just women. You know, it's like, but again, goes to communication, where it's like, if the person I'm going to be with knows that I'm actively trying to better myself every day, then she's probably not going to be surprised I'm going to the gym every day.
Right.
I'm not going to like let myself go.
Yeah.
Or stop caring about my health.
Yeah.
So that's just ironic to me when I see that, right? I would say that's something that it shows that the person changes for someone else. And I get it. Like I said, there's compromise. You're going to change the way maybe you do a few things in your life. But you shouldn't be changing who you are, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's probably because they haven't figured that out yet, honestly.
There you go.
Right? And sometimes time allows you to also then start investing in yourself.
Sure,
like you said, whether it be like in terms of work that, you know, you're not on a project or you got let go. It's like a time for reflection or bettering yourself. And
of course.
Yeah, I encourage more people to lean into that time.
Of course.
Because I don't think there's enough of it. And I honestly, like, you're single right now, yes? So dating in the city, what has that been like for you? Because
I'll have my I'll have
so,
waves, like, you know.
I love your social media videos on dating are so funny and they crack me up. And it's funny because you haven't really like leaned into that before. So like, why are you leaning into that now?
So it's not for any reason. Like, a lot of people message me. They're like, yo, like, who hurt you? And like, you know, what happened? I'm like, bro, I've been single for so long. It has nothing to do with that. It's actually me just I'm trying to build my personal brand right now.
Okay.
This is more like on marketing side now.
Yeah.
Like, I've been really all over the place because I do so many things, right? And I really want to increase my presence online and my audience size. And I realized that, okay, to do that, and then, again, this is more like a marketing take than a relationship take. To do that, I have to show up as the same Ernesto every time someone sees me. Okay?
Yeah.
Which has always been hard for me because I do a lot of different things in my life.
Right.
Right?
I can relate to that. It's
there you
like
go. Same thing.
Yeah. You do so many different things. Your toes in different pools and each pool pulls something out differently.
It's kind of like a different character.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could sit down with my team and be very motivational and inspirational and talk like a business leader. And then, you know, I can eat a plate of pasta and just become like, you know, maybe like a funnier version of myself that's more Italian or whatever it might be, right? So
but it's a beautiful thing because they make up who you are. Like, it makes sense. And often in marketing they'll say, well, I've heard people say, you know, stick to one lane, that's your thing. Don't go in another market or vertical because it's confusing people. It's like, no, but that's actually who I am. Like, I am multifaceted. So all these versions are actually who I am.
And I was having that kind of issue too, because now if you're talking about the algorithm and the way, you know, pages grow nowadays and how to grow your following, you have to find a way to encompass all those characteristics about you and package it in a way that's easy for people to consume. So the whole babe thing, to be honest, is more like that I'm using that as a way to become more recognizable every time someone sees me. Right. Now, the babe thing allows me to
explain the babe thing for a second.
So the babe thing is like, it's pretty much like I'm making videos for my future wife, right? So or any woman out there. And what I'm doing is I'm using that as the intro. It's the hook. And then I'm pretty much doing something, you know, whether I'm eating a great meal or I'm going to start doing some when I'm traveling or I'm in the gym. It gives me an outlet to show something about me. Yeah. Right? Brilliant. In a way that I can have a hook that people, again, find recognizable. The issue I was having, which, again, I kind of tried to shy away from this for a long time. It's because I'm like you, where I'm like, well, I have all these parts about me. But then I put myself in the audience's shoes. And I'm like, okay, if I just came across my profile, would I really understand who I am? And, I'm doing a food review one time, then I'm on a podcast, then I'm doing the top 5 lists, then I'm saying something inspirational or motivational, then I'm talking about relationships. I was making it hard for people to kind of fall in love with my character. So what I'm doing now is pretty much making it a bit easier to open the door to new people to say, okay, who's this guy? I've seen the babe thing a few times. And it's a way for me to show my personality as well, right? So
you're funny.
Thank you. I try to be, right? So,
I enjoy it. I think you're funny.
Right? So I think it's a way that, and again, if you know me, like those videos, I'm being myself in a way. There's a little part of me that I turn on, obviously.
For sure.
I think everyone has that. But it's a cool way for me to experiment. And I've never shied away. I don't care what people think about me, right? Like I've never shied away from doing something new and trying something out. So yeah, currently that's my plan right now. I'm doing the babe thing.
I love the babe thing. It's funny.
Just trying to, again, it's more so you're creating content that Instagram now is a mini TV.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, when I decide to follow someone, why do I do it? It's because they've probably showed up a few times in the same fashion, some sort of way, right? So I kind of just took that recipe. I worked with Anthony on it. Anthony came up with the whole babe thing. Because I was like, dude, I don't know how to do
Sometimes
this.
it's easier to ask your best friend about how they see you than it is to like see yourself because you're in your own head.
I literally said that to him when we were on a Zoom call.
I feel like that all the time.
I was like, bro, you have to tell me.
Yeah.
Like, what about my personality should I show more?
Totally.
Right? And then we kind of created that whole thing. And we'll see. It's been fun for me. Again, it's like an outlet that I can kind of showcase anything.
For sure.
Just by using a simple tagline. So then
going back to the dating stuff, have you gotten like DMs from it being like, I didn't know you were single and all the, or are you on apps? Like, how are you living your life?
No, I'm not on apps. I was probably a few years back. I'm not on apps anymore. Instagram is more than enough, I would say right now. It's
to manage.
And it's funny because like people see me doing those videos and it's like, oh, well, he must be looking for a girlfriend now. Where it's like, okay, like
you're like, nah, it's all along, but you're just seeing this,
But yeah, no, there's a lot of women that hit me up on Instagram for sure. But yeah, I'm very picky, man. Like I'm so picky.
Being picky is good, though.
I know.
Why is that bad?
No, it's good. I'm super happy about being picky. Trust me, right? Like I'm super happy, but
is that how you say like you would meet most people is through Instagram, or do you meet people like out and about in the city?
Probably not in, like if I'm traveling, let's say I'm in Miami or I'm in Mexico, that's where I'm more open to meeting someone I've never seen before, or if I'm out and stuff like that.
But then you might not ever see them again.
I might not. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
That's the point.
No, I don't know. I think like Toronto it's a big city, but it's so small at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels different when you're in a different country or a different city, right? Like you feel like you're almost like you have a bit more confidence too. Like
totally. I always say when I'm on vacation, Nicole is the most fun Nicole because I have like no inhibitions. Like I do things that I would typically never do because there's this sense of freedom,
of course,
and confidence that I have because I'm like nobody fucking knows me, so like I have nothing to lose.
There you go. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
like they feel that, right? And like I said, there's that confidence part where it's like, no one in this bar in Tulum is ever going to see me again. Yeah. Or maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they will. I'm not sure.
Tulum is a place you might see the person again.
Nowadays, yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, Toronto, I don't really go out too much. If I do go on a date, it's probably with a girl I've already known.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like someone brand new. There has been a few, but it's probably someone I've known already.
Describe your perfect date.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's like the cheesiest but actually hardest question.
I mean, I'm not that extravagant. I'm very simple. I think going out for a very nice dinner and somewhere quiet so that we could talk, right? I don't like going to loud places unless, it's after and you're going after party. But I don't even after party, so that wouldn't be there. I think a nice dinner, and then some time with the person after, whether, you go on a walk, or you just go somewhere else and hang out a bit more. I think talking a lot. I like to talk. Obviously, we got.
I mean, I think we got the drift there for sure.
Right. And just kind of put ourselves in an environment that I can understand the woman's energy too. Right. So yeah, somewhere quiet, nice dinner, nice food. That I would say that's pretty much it. Nothing really special.
How many dates do you give it before you realize that you're gonna go out with them again or never speak to them again?
Oh, probably one.
One.
Maybe one. Maybe
That's
two.
good.
Maybe two. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why the first date is so important.
So important, yeah.
And
you need like a long, drawn out conversation, like lots of talking, so you can figure it out right away.
Eating for 8 hours. Okay, now I get you. And I get it. Listen, people have bad days too. Like, that's why it's hard to judge it off one. You never know what someone else is going through. So you could have caught them on a day where maybe they weren't full of energy or fully themselves.
Yeah, themselves.
Right. But I would say 1 or 2 dates. And I would get the vibe for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Right? I don't like to waste too much time.
Hey, time is money, and I get that. I fully understand that. But even for the other person,
right? Even for the woman, it's like, I don't want to waste your time.
You don't want to waste your time or lead you on or whatever.
Exactly.
For sure. I'm getting better at that. After I was like, I called my girlfriend. I went on a date, and she was like, "So what'd you think?" And I was like, "Meh." I was like, "Nice guy," just like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, I might go out with him again. She was like, "Nicole, why the fuck would you go out with him again?
Yeah.
Like, waste your time when you have this reaction to the first date." I was like, you're right.
Listen,
I was like, sorry. Like,
of course. And I think, listen, you follow your gut too, where it's kind of like, you could have been like, man, whatever, that first date was, but maybe you saw something about him that you're like, oh, you know what, but there was something about him that I'd like to see him again. Maybe there's something there, right? So I think you just have to follow your gut too. There's been dates where I went on and it's like, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, but do you stick it out or you just try and wrap it up?
I'll stick it out. I'll stay. I would never just like, I would never just like walk like
check please.
No, unless like this never happened, but unless the person's being like disrespectful or something, then that's a whole other thing. But no, I would never cut it short. I would finish my meal for sure.
You have to finish the bolognese.
There you go, right?
100%. I want to talk about money buys happiness. Mm-hmm. Because money is so interesting and it's a great conversation. And you have, like I mentioned earlier, you have so many great guests on. Yeah. You had really like very cool conversations. Yeah. Sometimes intense conversations because money is very personal to a lot of people.
Of course.
After, speaking to so many people on the pod where you're at right now, do you think that money buys happiness?
I think so. Now, there's things in life that money can't buy. Okay? There's, love. I think real love, money can't buy.
Yeah.
I think there's many parts of your health that money can't buy. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll also say that if you have money,
it can buy opportunities to receive certain treatments.
Better health.
Yeah,
and take care of yourself better.
For sure.
Right? So I would say when it comes to love, friendships, and like certain aspects of health, I would say, money, it won't help that much, right? But like happiness for me, I tell this to the guests, right? I say, I think it just depends what makes you happy. So for me, what happiness is having an impact on people, like a positive impact, and money definitely helps that. I think starting businesses, building teams, building employees. Some of our employees have been with us for 6-7 years, right? And we're not an old company. Mm-hmm. So to see them flourish and grow their careers and use the careers to build a life for themselves, like that really makes me happy. Spending more time with my family. I need money to do that though.
Yeah.
Or I need to be in a situation where I'm financially free in a way. So I would say it makes me happy. It's just about how you use the money, right? And I think it also emphasizes who you are, right? So if you're an asshole and you're broke, you're going to be a rich asshole when you have money. Like, honestly.
That's so true. Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, totally.
And if you're a really nice, kind, respectful person and you're broke, if you did have money, you would just be a very nice, respectful person with more money.
Yeah.
And that would be very impactful for them. And I think you see that with, you can see that when you meet someone, right? And be like, okay, what was this person like? Did they have a humbling beginning? And a lot of the people I talk to are very successful and they came from nothing, right? And I think that kind of journey that they had, that long journey that they have of ups and downs and losses and wins, it makes them a good person with money.
Yeah.
And I think people forget how powerful a good person with money could be, right? So I look at that as something that I want to be. I want to be a person that money has emphasized my good characteristics, right? So helping more people, hiring more people, building more businesses, spending more time with my family, and being able to do things that make me happy. I'm not very materialistic, I would say. I'm not really like, I used to be like that, where I'm like, I want to make $300 million and buy a yacht and, be shirtless all day in Miami and drink champagne. That doesn't sound that bad.
That's not that bad.
Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound that bad. But I think what I realize now, it's what fulfills me the most is being able to help other people.
Yeah. And I think, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but a part of, you're saying like happiness and the concept of money for you is a means to be able to do the things that you love. Like, because you're very career driven and like, so money fuels you in that sense to be able to do what you love to do.
Of course. And I love what I do because, again, like, I get to do cool shit all day.
Yeah.
I get to work with a team I love. I get to build that team. And I like having that pressure on me where people rely on me in a way. So the more money I make, even if you gave me $100 million tomorrow, I would still work every day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop working. Like, I think it's the purpose that's really driving me at this point. And the more money I can make, the more I can really grow that purpose.
For sure. Now, in terms of like career and money, and like romance and what that looks like, like on a romantic level with a partner, is that something that's important to you when you're looking to find someone? Is that like she needs to be career driven as well?
I think having purpose in some sort of way, right? I think whether that's career driven, whether that's because I don't expect
Trad wife.
well, not only that, right? Like, I think,
which is nothing wrong with that.
For sure, right? I don't really know which side I want yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I'm not gonna judge the woman based off that. I'm gonna judge her based off more her values, and what she believes in and the type of person she is. Because one day she could be career driven, and the next she could be a stay-at-home mom. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
It's life. There's changes.
Yeah, life changes for sure.
I think the women I've dated probably have been more career driven in the past. Well,
because that is a value at the end of the day for someone, right?
Of course, right? It shows drive and it shows,
yeah,
for sure. And I don't really know which one I prefer. Like, I don't even know if I have an answer to that.
I stumped you.
Yeah, you did. You really did. Again, like,
no, because some people it's a deal breaker. To be completely
I would
transparent,
never make that a deal breaker.
I asked that question because that is my new non-negotiable. Like,
yes.
I think I need to be with someone who is as career driven as I am, because it is a value of mine. And I've come to the understanding that when someone doesn't share that, there's like a gap, or there's a misalignment with like how you communicate and understand and support one another. You know what I mean?
Then they won't really understand what you're going through day to day.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the kind of obstacles you face. That I could completely understand.
Exactly.
I could completely understand. So, yeah, maybe it is career driven for me. I'm not sure. But I could see that. Yeah. Having to kind of explain your life, it's probably easier to someone that's in that life or has that kind of drive.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't really know what it is.
Something to
me.
ponder about.
I guess I'll find out one day.
Would you ever date a woman who makes more money than you, or would that make you feel uncomfortable?
I mean,
Be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I probably would have to make more.
So she would like fuel you to make more.
The thing is, like, I don't know if, because I'm also very traditional in the sense where I want to be a provider to someone, whether they're career driven or not.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I find a billionaire wife and she wants to get married,
I'm manifesting it for you, dude.
but again, I think it does go to like values and stuff too, right? Because money comes and goes.
Yeah.
Right. You can have times in your life where you're making a lot. You can have times in your life where you're not making much. So again, I would say it depends on who the person is, what her character as a whole. Because for me, for example, I just said it to you. If I made $100 million tomorrow, I'm still working. It's not really going to change me in a negative way. So if she happens to make money and a lot of it, I just wouldn't want her to change because of it in a negative way. Right. So I guess she could make more. I'm very traditional in the sense where I do want to be a provider to someone as a man. But yeah, if there's any billionaire women watching, like, I'm not going to say no. We could go on one date and see how it goes.
Yeah, just one date, lots of talking to figure it all out so you can take notes.
But how about you? How about you? Do you want a man who makes more than you or less?
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Sort of in the same thing. And I feel kind of, I'm going to receive judgment for this, but whatever. I'm being honest. Same thing, want a man who is confident in providing.
Yes.
And that, does it mean financially? For sure. I want to feel like if I were to take time to have kids, because I want to have kids one day, that like I wouldn't have to work.
Yes,
of course. I like right away.
Of course.
Would I be willing to do that? Yes, to support our life together. But is it something that I would prefer not to do?
Yeah.
For sure. Like I don't know. It's the same thing. It's like I would be willing to jump in if I need to, but it would be nice to like be able to be a mom and be in that phase and enjoy that. And that's
a full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
Yep.
And based on all the women and mothers that I know, like people always say, they're like, you get this one time in your life. And like, it's so important to really enjoy that time because you're never going to get it back.
Of course.
And like in my mind, I want to be that,
Of course.
And I feel bad saying that, but like
why do you feel
these
bad
days,
saying that,
because these days, like you need 2 incomes to survive. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why I'd say like, if I need to work, like I would work.
Yeah.
Because I too am like a driven person and I love my work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's different kind of work of when you're needed. And so that's why I say that. Yes.
I think
it would be nice.
Listen, I think if I was to find my partner and we were to have children, I wouldn't want her to work.
Yeah.
I would want her to focus on that. Right. Again, maybe I'll get flack for that, whatever. Like,
no.
But again, I think, watching my mom raise me and my sister, and she even worked too.
Yeah. My mom too. Same thing. My mom raised us, but like my dad worked around the clock so that she could do that.
Of course.
And that's also the provider. Like, I think there's qualities in that mindset as well that matter. It's like the man who's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure his family is good. His wife and kids are good. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean by provider. It's not always just financially. A lot of it is financial. Obviously, to do that, you need to be making more money. But I think realizing the phases of a woman's life too, and she's about to have your children. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Right. And you want her to enjoy it. You want the kids to grow up with their mother. So yeah, I think for me, I would be like, I would want to be in a position where my wife or whoever's having my kids, if she's not my wife, if I'm not married and we're still having kids, doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of situation that I want to be in. And I think, like you said, it's such a special thing to be able to have kids. Women have that superpower. And I think they should enjoy it and really dive right into it, It's
really nice.
Beautiful.
Not every man thinks that way. So
I mean, we're in weird times.
We are in weird times. What the fuck is wrong with people?
We're in weird times. I think I think you were raised very similar to me, and we saw the value of family.
Yeah.
And our parents raising us, and And I wouldn't want the same thing for my kids,
Same.
right?
Yeah. You want with often it was polarizing. I feel like you either want exactly what you came from,
Yeah.
which like if you came from something really good, then the bar is set very high,
Of course.
which is what we have.
Yeah.
Or you want the complete opposite because you weren't given all the things that you wish that you had. So you become this other person,
Of course.
so that you can give that opportunity to your family.
I think as you know, as humans in a family of generations and generations, like I think it's honestly our duty to make sure every generation gets better.
Yeah.
So like you said, the bar's really high, but I actually want to even raise that bar, right? Like I think a lot of people should look at it that way.
Yeah, that's
You know,
really.
like for us,
How do you raise the bar?
again, I think, you know, maybe at times my mom was working and I was with my grandmother, which I loved being with my grandmother, right? But my mom did an amazing job raising us. And, you know, maybe I'm looking at it like, well, if my wife has even more time than my mom did, to spend more time with my, right? So
Yeah.
I think on that end, when it comes to like raising children, I would say that's just like one aspect. But yeah, making sure like, you know, you raise great kids, you have a beautiful career. If my dad had an amazing career, I want to have an even better career,
Yeah.
right? If my mom had a healthy life, I want to have an even healthier life.
Mm-hmm.
So in every aspect, I think it's our duty to become better.
Do you think that that's kind of what's missing in the world today? Or like what's missing in terms of like quality of people?
How much time do you
I
have?
mean, I know that's maybe like a whole other podcast, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what is the thing that you've noticed that you're like, people are just missing the point?
I think right now we're in a time where, you know, the family structure is not valued as much anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think relationships aren't valued as much anymore. And again, I think there's many reasons. I think, you know, social media is one. Obviously, what we see all day online can really affect us. You're seeing that even with divorce rates,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like, what, 60%?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just keeps going up.
Yeah.
So I think a
Because
lot
people
of
our age are getting divorced already.
I know people that they get married and then 2 weeks later they're divorced.
Yeah.
Which is sad. That's honestly very sad. But I think a lot of people are not just being who they want to be. I think a lot of people are impacted by things around them,
Yeah.
and they change their whole life based on things around them. And I think a lot more people have to be their true self
Yeah.
and do what you want to do. Be the person you want to be. Don't let external factors really influence decisions in your life. I think that's a big problem. You know, a lot of people will get married because all their friends got married.
Yeah.
That's again, that's what I just said. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. I think there's like, I was listening to like a Gary Vee podcast,
Yeah.
and he was saying how like kids these days are weak. Like,
They are.
or like, and that's what I think is, I mean, call me an asshole, I don't care. But
Yeah.
like, I think there's a level of mental weakness that people have that,
course.
again, like follow with the trend or do something because they're supposed to, or I'm going to just go along with this and not really say how I feel about things because it's
There you
just
go.
easier.
There you go.
It's harder to do the right thing
I know.
every single time.
Yeah.
And people shy away from it because no one has like courage
I
or
know.
standards or morals. It's like everything just like goes out the window
Yep.
because I'm going to do what's easier.
Yeah. I think you made a great point too with the courage side. I think and this is why I mentioned too at the beginning, like I don't really give a fuck what people think about me.
Yeah.
I think a lot more people need to do that
Yeah.
and not care what people think about them. Whether that is something you believe, maybe a religion you believe. If you believe in a religion, go out there and scream it.
Yeah. Celebrate that.
Right? If you believe in traditional values, then go out there and scream it. If you believe that you're not ready for a relationship, even though all your friends just got married, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? The moment that you kind of bend over backwards to fit into society, that's what you're going to do. You're going to fit into society. But there's no one I really know that's genuinely super happy or successful that wants to fit into society.
Yeah.
They don't want to. And I get why.
Well, and I think people are so afraid too because there's so much noise and there's so much judgment.
For sure.
But what I say is like, if you're confident in who you are, then the noise doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say.
That's the key part. Confident in who they are. A lot of people aren't.
People are not. You're right.
And again, maybe it's social media. They're seeing other things all day. Maybe you're a young woman. You're seeing all these different women online. And you're like, wow, I want to look that way. Or for guys, they see all these guys making money online. And then they're like, well, why am I not there yet? Right?
Yeah.
Why am I not there? Oh, look how fit this guy is. You know, I'm fat. I'm sitting here. Why am I not? It could really take a toll.
Yeah.
But that's why like doing the inner work and being alone and realizing who you are and who you want to be is super important. I think if the pandemic taught me anything, it's like it gave me a real chance to slow down and think, which sounds crazy, but that changed my whole life. Like being able to be like, no, because I was just always go.
Yeah.
Right. And I was doing a lot of other stuff for other people. I'd make decisions that made other people happy. And you can't live like that. Eventually you get to a point where you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, well, you know, am I even the person I want to be? Am I happy with myself? So I think a lot of people got to do more inner work to be more self-aware of themselves. Like just realize who you are. And if you feel like you're changing your values and what makes you happy week to week, you probably don't have like a strong core of who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the start of what you're saying, because if you have that, you won't care what people think. Like that, I think that's the biggest issue. People care what other people think. I think honestly, I would say that's the biggest problem right now.
I think that's why people don't take more chances or do what they really want or pursue something. Yeah. Because they're so afraid of what people are going to think.
Well, you starting this podcast, it took courage.
Thanks.
It does though. I know what it takes too, right? Because we did the same thing. Starting a business takes courage. Trying a relationship takes courage. You know, going in the gym when maybe you're overweight takes courage, because now you're thinking people are going to look around and judge you.
For sure.
So I get it. But like, again, going through those moments makes you so strong, where it's like reps, right? If you don't give a fuck once, the second time's even easier.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, I don't care. I'm going to just keep being myself.
Yeah, totally. That's very good advice. Okay, I have a fun little rapid fire for you.
Let's go.
Okay?
Let's go.
If you want to like elaborate on the rapid fire, you can. But this is based on your podcast, Money Buys Happiness, okay?
Sick.
Okay, what would you rather? Rich but toxic or broke and emotionally available?
Oh, fuck. Broke and emotionally available.
Yeah, it's the right answer.
Of course. Can't have toxic.
Are you a prenup guy?
Oh my God. You know what's crazy? I've been going on like a little podcast rip lately. I've been on like maybe 3-4 podcasts in the last 2 months. And every single podcast has asked me this.
There you go.
And I'm trying to make my answer better every time.
Well, what have you said?
I've said, you know, I think for me, I'm at a point in my life where I didn't really have a woman with me building everything with me. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if the woman had $1 billion and she wanted me to sign a prenup, I would.
Yeah.
I understand.
What you're saying is it depends how much you have.
No, listen. I think it depends on the relationship you have. Now, if a prenup is to change the way the woman would look at me, maybe that's a red flag to me at that point.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And I know people that have prenups. I know people that don't. And they're all in different positions. We're doing a prenup though, most likely.
You should,
right?
Because you have something that you've owned before the relationship. And that's my whole thing. Right? It's like, and I think if we were younger, it'd be a different story. But like, you're at a point in your life when you've accumulated all this. Yeah. So it's like, you should protect that.
Of course.
And it's not an insult or lessen the love that you have for the person. But then what I would say is like, then moving forward, you build together. And then that's a separate
for sure thing. And again, like I'm a realistic guy.
Yeah.
The divorce rates are 60%.
I remember the first boyfriend that had asked me to do it, because we were talking about this. Yeah. We'd done a prenup, and I was like so upset and so pissed. And now, like 5 years later, I'm like, God, he was so smart to ask that question. Now I would make someone do the same.
I think society makes it a bad thing.
Yeah, because it's not romantic. It's not romantic. It's sexy like, at all.
And we hear like you're seeing it in movies, and it's all this stuff where it's like it's not that crazy.
No.
And again, if I had a woman with me building this whole time, the last 10 years,
Different
my
story.
answer would be completely different for sure.
Fair. Would you date or marry someone with debt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the thing is like, again,
You're like, how much? Follow-up question.
that would have been my next question. Listen, I also understand. I've been in debt before.
Yeah.
I've been building businesses.
Yeah,
I was in
it's
debt
true.
before.
Yeah.
I can't really judge someone on that. But again, if they're in $5 million of debt
For sure.
because they gamble, okay, that's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like, they have debt from maybe they were in school and tuition, and maybe they started a business, they're in a little bit of debt, I don't think I would judge them based on that.
Okay. Fair enough. How much should a man spend on a wedding ring?
Wow. I actually had a guest in here the other day, West Rock Diamonds. He has a place in Yorkville. He does like huge engagement rings. And I asked him this. And
what was his response before you give your response?
He gave like a percentage of what
you earn.
Make.
Okay, interesting. I've heard that.
3 months salary.
Yeah.
Or something
That's
like
mostly what people say is realistic.
I'm trying to think what my 3 months salary.
You're like, now I need to do mental math.
Yeah, I would say I would probably.
You can just say that's the rule.
I agreed with him. I was like, that's putting into perspective was pretty good. I would say 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Right. Again, it's an important moment. I would
say, when someone says, "Oh, all you care about is the ring," that's not what this is about.
No, but it's also like a moment, I think, and it's something that the woman is going to have for the rest of her life. It is a
representation of your relationship, literally.
Literally. I agree with that. And again, I think once you get to that point, if you're going to get engaged with someone, it's like, I don't think now's the time to cheap out. Like, you already got to the point where you wanted, and if I'm happy enough to marry someone and I love that person that much, I don't think I'm a very giving person. So I would say 3 to 6 months. I'm gonna get blasted by the guys in here. They're like, I'm fucking doing 2 weeks.
I know you're making people look bad. That's for sure. What is the most you've ever spent on a woman?
Oh my God. Like in one time, like one day?
Sure. Or like an event or something
like
that you did for her.
Like the whole time.
I don't want to know that number because
No,
then I would have to share my number and it probably wouldn't be very good. It would be embarrassingly high. So how about just like a gesture, the most amount of money? Whether that be like a fancy dinner or like a vacation or a bag or...
I've spent probably like... In one night, there was a night where I spent about 15,000.
Shut the fuck up.
15, not 50. 15.
15 is a lot.
But it was a day excursion,
What did you do?
We did a bunch of things. It had some gifts in it too, like some products too. Like some gifts.
There were takeaways and the experience.
There was experiences, multiple experiences, gifts, and that was a lot of money though. It was like I would say between 12 and 15,000 I spent that day.
Why would you do that?
So I was with this person for like 2 years at that point.
Uh-huh.
And again, going back to our conversation, right? Like I felt like there was times where I was overcompensating in ways. And that's like what I mean by that. Where I felt like I needed to do things to be with someone. So yeah, that was.
Did you ever get any of it back?
I mean, probably not all of it, but I'm not going to say that the woman wasn't giving as well. She was giving too, but again, that was something where you spend money, you learn lesson.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
And you
make me feel a lot better about my spending. That's for sure.
But again, it was like a whole day thing. Like I wouldn't never. Okay, I'm not gonna say I would never do that again, but I would. We're
not gonna do that.
I would think before I do that again.
Please don't do that again.
I haven't done it since, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's why I said now. You're like, what's a perfect date now?
Yeah.
I'm like, some pasta, simple. Put me in a room and
you're like, we're actually going to my nana's house and we're gonna have pasta and sit down.
Right? So I think I learned a lot from my last relationships. But you're young and you're trying to be impressive and you're overcompensating in ways. I was insecure at that time. So I'm like, well, if I do this.
I do that. I fully do that.
Then it
I have
balances
given
out.
so much more than I have received of like, love me if I do this for you.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't
I
quite
think we
work that
do
way.
those things because,
But I also am a giving person. So it's hard.
So it was that mix, right? I'm the same way, giving person. And then I was overcompensating, insecure. I'm like, well, if I do this, like, when is she ever going to get this again?
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
I'm the man now. But like realistically, that doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
That didn't make my relationship better with her. That probably made it worse, actually, if anything.
Oh God, there's not a win for you. I'm sorry.
No,
I do not want to end on that low note, but
No. How about we end here? I learned the best lessons I've learned in my life. I've spent a lot of money. That's business wise and relationship wise.
failures and successes.
The most expensive lessons.
Okay, what's the most expensive lesson besides that date?
Oh, you like business?
Yeah.
Damn. Like we've lost like over 6 figures before on like something that just doesn't happen
Really?
easily. Maybe more than once. But again, like those moments has like really shaped us, and we've learned so much from them. I think you don't have to lose 6 figures. I think you have to lose in life. You have to take risk, lose, and you'll hit sooner or later.
For sure.
But yeah, we've taken some risks before that we've lost a lot of money.
Well, failure is growth. That's the lesson, right?
Of course.
It's you only grow when you take a risk and you fail.
Of course.
But people are scared to do that. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Takes balls to do that. Well, that's why you have all the things. What's the next dream for you?
I think, it's continuing what I'm doing with Neighborhood. Neighborhood's like my baby, so to see Neighborhood continue to thrive, the team growing, more people on the team that we can impact and be part of their journey in life too. That would be amazing, because we also help businesses, right? So for us to be able to help more businesses, it's brought me so much fulfillment, so much joy, the best relationships too, like friendships and all this stuff that I have because of Neighborhood. And then with the podcast, it's just continue to grow, adapt the content, bring on more guests. I love having guests on that, they might not be that big yet. Like I've had big guests.
Yeah.
But I also like having guests that aren't big yet, and then they become big.
Yeah.
And then I have that piece of history with them.
For sure.
We had Marcelo Hernandez. I don't know if you know who that is.
I've heard of his name before.
Huge comedian now.
Yeah.
He's on Saturday Night Live. He has a Netflix premiere. But we had him on when he was tiny, 5 years ago.
I feel like you have a lot of guests like that though.
But I
on your
love
show.
that.
Yeah.
Like the goal with my podcast is to have kind of like this timeless conversation that people can watch for decades to come.
Yeah.
So continue to do that, impact people through that value, and whether that's valuable conversations or inspirational or educational or just entertaining. I really want to keep seeing that grow. And I think just continuing to level myself up, because I realize the more I level up, everything else around me grows.
Yeah.
Right?
For
So
sure.
it's super important I continue to work on myself and I don't get comfortable with where I'm at.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you and all
Find
the
me
things.
in Grid Studio right
Yeah.
now. You can find us. The agency is Neighbourhood Creative on Instagram. I'm Ernesto Gaita on Instagram, and the podcast is Money Buys Happiness. You can search that up anywhere: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and check out the pod.
And just to echo what you said, like the team here is sincerely amazing. Like everybody is so lovely, and that's a testament to like top down of like how you hire and run your company. And so yeah, my hat is off to you. And
well, it's been fun working with you as well.
yeah, well, it's been a dream, sincerely. Like your team, you guys are just awesome, and I feel. I wrote this in your Christmas card. I said, I feel very blessed, and I appreciate. I'm making a decision to you know, in 2026 to really surround myself with like-minded people.
Yep.
And I want to be challenged to be better. I don't want to be the best one in the room ever. I want to be the worst one because I think there's still so much to learn and grow. And even, you know, I'm still so driven and like ambitious to try and do more things. And if I fail along the way, great. But like, I want to try, you know? So that's like 2026 for me. And you are always someone that I look to who does just that. So thank you.
I'm happy to be that person.